I sold my truck to stay in the Philippines with her. She said her uncle was a lawyer who could fast-track my retirement visa. No need to go through Manila, she told me. We handle everything here. I trusted her, paid in cash, signed what they gave me. 3 months later, immigration knocked on my door. Turns out my visa was fake. The lawyer never existed. And Christa May? She was already gone. I wasn't just overstaying. I was facing deportation. What hurt most wasn't the money. It was that I believed she was building a life with me while she was using my name like a disposable document. The knock came at 7 in the morning. I was sitting on my porch in San Fabian, drinking instant coffee and watching the jeepneys roll by. 2 men in white shirts and black pants stood at my gate. Official badges, immigration. My stomach dropped before they even spoke. "Good morning, sir. We need to see your visa documents." I set my coffee down with shaking hands. This wasn't supposed to happen. Christa May had assured me everything was legal, perfect, bulletproof. I walked inside to get the folder. The laminated card felt solid in my hands. Clean edges, official stamps, government letterhead. Everything looked right. I handed it over with what I hoped looked like confidence. "Here you go, all in order." The taller officer barely glanced at it before looking up at me. His expression was stone. "Sir, this is not a valid document." Those words hit me like a truck. I felt my knees go weak. "What do you mean?" My lawyer handled everything. "It's genuine." The shorter officer shook his head slowly. "Sir, we need you to come with us for questioning." I couldn't breathe. This was wrong. There had to be a mistake. "Look, my girlfriend's uncle is a lawyer here. He filed all the paperwork properly. There must be some confusion." The officers exchanged glances. The tall one pulled out a notebook. "What's the lawyer's name?" I opened my mouth to answer and felt stupid for the first time. Really stupid. "Uncle Ray Villanueva. He works with my girlfriend, Christa May." The shorter officer sighed. A long, tired sigh. "Sir, you're not the first person to tell us that story." My world tilted. What did that mean? I wasn't the first? How could there be others? Christa May told me I was special, that what we had was real. I don't understand. She said her uncle handles visa applications for foreigners all the time. She said I was lucky to have family connections. The tall officer closed his notebook. "Sir, we're going to need you to come to our office. You have some serious explaining to do." I looked at my porch, my coffee, my little slice of paradise. Everything I thought I'd built. Gone. At the immigration office, they showed me files. Thick manila folders with names I didn't recognize. All foreigners, all men my age, all with the same story. Uncle Ray, Christa May. Fake visas. "She's done this before?" I asked. My voice cracked. The officer nodded. Multiple times. Different provinces. Always the same pattern. I stared at the folders. How many of us were there? How many men had she convinced? How many hearts had she broken while breaking the law? "Where did you meet her?" the officer asked. I closed my eyes and remembered. 3 months ago. Angeles City. A coffee shop called Time Zone. I was struggling with a visa information flyer, trying to understand the requirements. The Tagalog was impossible for me. That's when she appeared. Beautiful smile. Perfect English. "Need help?" she'd asked. I looked up and saw the most stunning woman I'd met in years. Dark eyes, warm laugh. "I'm Russell," I'd said. "Christa May," she replied, "and you look lost." She sat down across from me without being invited. Confident, comfortable. "First time applying for a retirement visa?" she asked. I nodded. "It's complicated. All the paperwork, the requirements, the waiting. Most foreigners give up." I leaned forward. "I don't want to give up. I love it here." She smiled wider. "Then you need someone who knows the system. Someone with connections." That's when she mentioned her uncle. "He's a lawyer, specializes in immigration. He could help you skip the long lines, avoid the bureaucracy, make it simple." Simple. That word should have been my first warning. Nothing about immigration is ever simple. But she made it sound so easy, so logical. How much would something like that cost? I asked. She waved her hand dismissively. Don't worry about money yet. Let me talk to Uncle Ray first, see what he can do. She touched my hand across the table. Electric. Besides, I like you, Russell. I want to help. I believed her. God help me, I believed every word. We started seeing each other regularly after that. Coffee dates became dinner dates. Dinner dates became long drives along the coast. She showed me hidden beaches, local restaurants, the real Philippines that tourists never see. You're different from other foreigners, she'd say. Most of them just want cheap beer and young girls. You want to understand the culture. I felt proud when she said that. Special, like I'd found something real in this complicated country. After 2 weeks, she brought up the visa again. Uncle Ray looked at your case, she said over dinner. Good news, he can fast-track everything. No need to go through Manila. No need to wait months. My heart jumped. Really? How? She leaned closer. Family connections. He knows people in the regional office. They trust him. I should have asked more questions. Should have demanded to meet this uncle. Should have verified everything. But I was falling in love. And love makes you stupid. What's the timeline? I asked. She smiled that perfect smile. 2 weeks. Maybe 3. Much faster than the normal process. I couldn't believe it. Months of bureaucracy reduced to weeks. There is one thing, though, she added. Uncle Ray needs payment up front. Processing fees, filing costs, administrative expenses. The government doesn't work for free. I nodded. That made sense. Everything costs money. How much? She wrote a number on a napkin. 150,000. About 4,000 Australian dollars. My entire emergency fund. I hesitated. That was everything I had saved for my retirement. My safety net. It's a lot of money, Russell, she said softly. But think about what you're getting. Legal residency. Peace of mind. A future here with me. She took my hand. With me. Those 2 words sealed it. I wasn't just buying a visa. I was buying a life with her. A future. Love. The next day, I went to the bank. Withdrew everything. Sold my motorcycle to a neighbor for extra cash. That night, Christa May came to my apartment with a folder full of papers, official-looking documents, government forms, application letters. Just sign here, she said, pointing to signature lines. And here, and here. I tried to read the fine print, but she kept talking, distracting me. Uncle Ray needs these filed first thing, tomorrow. Timing is everything with government offices. I signed where she pointed, handed over the cash in a white envelope. She counted it quickly, then kissed my forehead. Now you're part of the Philippines, Russell. Officially. I felt proud, nervous, but mostly relieved. The uncertainty was over. I had a future here. We had a future together. When will I get the actual visa? I asked. She tucked the envelope into her purse. Uncle Ray said 2 weeks for processing, then we pick it up together. He wants to meet you properly when it's ready. I smiled. Meeting the family, that felt serious, real, like she was introducing me to her world permanently. But 2 weeks passed. Then 3. Then a month. Every time I asked about the visa, Christa May had the same answer. Still processing. Uncle Ray says these things take time, even with connections. I started getting nervous. What if something went wrong? What if they needed more documents? Maybe I should call your uncle directly. I suggested. Her face changed. Just for a second. He doesn't like dealing with clients directly. That's why he works through me. Another red flag I ignored. Love makes you blind to red flags, turns them into yellow flags, then green flags, then invisible flags. I wanted to believe her so badly that I turned doubt into patience, worry into understanding, fear into trust. One night, I overheard her on the phone. She was in my kitchen, speaking rapid Tagalog. I couldn't understand most of it, but I caught a few words. Kano, foreigner. Bayad, payment. Palusot, excuse. My stomach turned. Was she talking about me? About my case? When she came back to the living room, I asked casually, "Everything okay? You sounded stressed." She smiled brightly. Too brightly. "Just family drama. You know how it is." I didn't know how it was. I'd never met her family, never been to her house, never seen where she worked. For all the time we spent together, I knew surprisingly little about her actual life. Another red flag painted green by love. The visa finally arrived on a Tuesday. Christa May brought it to my apartment in a manila envelope, fresh from Uncle Ray's office, she said proudly. I opened it carefully. There it was, my retirement visa, laminated. Official stamps, government seals, my photo, my signature, everything looked perfect. "It's beautiful," I said. She laughed. "It's legal residency, Russell. Your ticket to staying here forever. Forever. With her. That's what I thought I was buying." But forever ended at sunrise 3 weeks later. I woke up to silence. Usually, Christa May was in my kitchen by 7, making coffee, humming softly. That morning, nothing. I called her name. No answer. I checked the bathroom. Empty. The spare bedroom where she kept some clothes. Cleaned out. Her toothbrush was gone. Her sandals. The little bottle of perfume she left on my dresser. Everything. I found a note on my coffee table. Short. Brutal. Had to go back to family. Take care, Russell. That's it. After 3 months together, that's all I got. Had to go back to family. Not "I'll miss you." Not "I'll call." Not even goodbye. Just take care. Like I was a sick dog she was abandoning. I called her phone. Straight to voicemail. Texted her. No response. Tried Facebook. She'd blocked me. Completely. Like I never existed. Like we never happened. 3 months of love erased overnight. I sat in my empty apartment, holding her note, trying to understand what had gone wrong. Had I said something? Done something? Was there another man? That's when immigration knocked again. "Mr. Dwyer?" The same tall officer from before stood at my gate. But this time, he wasn't alone. 3 officers, 2 cars. This was serious. "We need to talk to you about your visa situation." My heart pounded. "Why now? Right after Christa May disappeared?" "Is there a problem?" I asked. The officer held up my laminated visa. "This document is fraudulent, sir. We need you to come with us." Fraudulent. The word hit me like a physical blow. I stared at the visa in his hands. My visa. The one I'd paid $150,000 for. The one Uncle Ray had processed. The one that was supposed to give me forever in the Philippines. "There has to be a mistake," I said weakly. The officer shook his head. "No mistake, sir. This is fake. Completely fabricated. At the station, they showed me everything. The real government seals versus the fake ones on my visa. The proper formatting versus the incorrect layout on mine. The official signatures versus the forgeries. It was overwhelming, devastating. "How did you obtain this document?" they asked. I told them about Christa May, about Uncle Ray, about the $150,000, about love. The officer taking my statement looked up from his notepad. "Sir, there is no Ray Villanueva registered as an immigration lawyer in this province, or any province." My world collapsed completely. No Uncle Ray, no lawyer, no family connections, just lies. Beautiful, convincing. Lies wrapped in kisses and promises. "What happens now?" I asked. The officer slid a form across the table. "You have 30 days to leave the Philippines voluntarily. If you don't, you'll be deported and banned from returning for 10 years. 30 days. That's all I had left of my dream, my future, my life with her, The woman who helped you obtain this document, the officer continued. Christa May Villanueva. She's wanted in 3 provinces for visa fraud. You're the 7th victim we know about. 7th? I wasn't special. I wasn't her last love. I was just number 7 in a long line of broken hearts and stolen dreams. I spent the next week in a fog. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't think about anything except how stupid I'd been, how completely I'd been fooled. The woman I loved, the woman I thought loved me, was a criminal, a professional con artist, and I was just her latest mark. But I couldn't let it end like that. I needed answers. I needed to understand why. So I created a fake Facebook account and searched for her. Found her in 2 hours. New profile picture. Smiling, happy, in tag-a-tay with another foreigner. Older man, white hair, kind face. Just like me. I sent her a message from my fake account. Christa May, this is Russell. I know you blocked me, but I need to know why. You said I was your last love. Was any of it real? I waited 3 hours for a response. 3 hours of hope that maybe, just maybe, she'd explain, that there was some misunderstanding, some reason that would make sense. Her reply was 1 sentence. Cold, final, devastating. You were my last chance, not my love. Last chance, not last love. I stared at those words until they burned into my brain. I was never her boyfriend. I was never her future. I was just her meal ticket, her way out of whatever desperate situation she was in. And when that chance was over, when the money was gone, so was she. I deleted the fake account, blocked her from my real one, not out of anger, but out of self-preservation. I couldn't keep torturing myself with glimpses of her new life, her new victim, her next last chance. The deportation letter arrived exactly 1 week later. Official letterhead. Government seal, the real kind this time. Fraudulent visa holder must depart within 30 days or face arrest and 10-year ban. I held that letter and laughed. Actually laughed. The only real government document I'd received in months was the one kicking me out of the country. I packed everything I owned into 2 suitcases, sold my furniture to the neighbors, gave away my books to the local library. 3 months of building a life, reduced to 50 kilograms of luggage. The apartment I'd rented, the one Christa May had helped me find, suddenly felt foreign, like a movie set being torn down after filming Wrapped. My last night in the Philippines, I sat on my empty porch and tried to remember the good parts. The first time she laughed at my terrible Tagalog. The way she held my hand during movies. The morning she made me traditional breakfast and watched me try to use chopsticks with rice. Were those moments real, or was she acting the whole time? I'll never know. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the truth doesn't matter as much as the lesson. I learned what desperation looks like when it's dressed up as love. I learned that being needed and being loved are 2 completely different things. I learned that trust, my greatest strength, could also be my greatest weakness. The flight from Clark to Brisbane was the longest 8 hours of my life. I stared out the window as the Philippines disappeared below me. All those islands, all that beauty, all that promise, gone. I was 71 years old, flying back to Australia with 4,000 inches in my pocket and a heart full of expensive lessons. I live in Launceston now. Small flat, quiet street, government pension. Simple life. Sometimes I Google her name, just to see if she's been caught, if justice ever caught up with her. But there's never anything new. She's probably still out there, finding new last chances, new lonely men with retirement savings and hungry hearts. I'm not angry anymore. Anger is exhausting when you're 71. Instead, I'm grateful. Grateful I found out after 3 months instead of 3 years. Grateful I lost money instead of my life. Grateful I learned the difference between love and survival before it was too late to recover. If I ever love again, it won't start with promises. It'll start with honesty, with questions instead of answers, with patience instead of urgency. I won't fall in love with what someone tells me they are. I'll fall in love with what they show me they are, day after day, week after week, month after month. Christa May showed me exactly who she was, a woman trying to survive in a hard world, using whatever tools she had: beauty, charm, intelligence, desperation. I don't hate her for it. I understand it. I just wish I'd understood it sooner. Sometimes late at night, I wonder if she ever thinks about me. Not as a victim or a mark, but as a person. A lonely man who genuinely cared about her, who would have helped her if she'd just asked honestly instead of stealing dishonestly. But that's probably just my heart talking. The same heart that got me into trouble in the first place. I keep her note in my wallet, not as a reminder of betrayal, but as a reminder of truth. Had to go back to family. Take care, Russell. She did have to go, and I do need to take care. Take care of myself. Take care of my heart. Take care not to let desperation masquerade as love again. The Philippines is still beautiful. Love is still possible. Trust is still worth the risk. But next time, if there is a next time, I'll verify the paperwork first. I'll meet the uncle. I'll ask the hard questions. I'll listen to my head as much as my heart. Because the heart wants to believe. But the head knows how to protect what the heart holds dear. And what I hold dear now isn't the dream of forever with someone else. It's the reality of peace with myself. That's worth more than any visa, real or fake. She said her uncle was a lawyer. Turns out her uncle was a lie. But the truth she taught me was worth every peso I lost. Some lessons you can't learn from books or advice. You have to live them, survive them, grow from them. I survived. I grew. And that's not fake. That's real.